Hey guys, how we doing? How we doing? Okay, so we're gonna do another video, live video update on Facebook. I'm hoping this one goes well. Okay, right. So this is my second time doing this, but I'm setting up the studio in the office, and every time I make the video, something goes wrong. I've invested into a nice Canon here, and it's still not functioning well. So I'm using my webcam here in the office, and I'm just hoping that everything will go well. And I think we have lost connection. Are you joking me? You are not serious right now. You are joking. If somebody's live watching there, let me know this is live, because this camera is telling me that there's no connection. Paddy Mooney, if you're watching me, let me know you can see it, because I can't tell if this thing is still live. But anyway, I'm gonna crack on ahead. So like I'm saying, guys, so I'm trying to make this video again, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to connect to more people, especially those of you who are on my Facebook. If you know anybody who's in business, tell them to like my website, our marketing page, which is known as Mr. Marketing. So it's Ngalinda Mr. Marketing. I'm gonna add it right here. I can see it here. All G. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Okay, so like I'm saying, I want to give my story, my background, to why I do what I do, to why I do the marketing, and to my story. So as most of you guys know on Facebook, by the way, I'm videoing these videos because I'm going to share them on Instagram and LinkedIn and whatnot. And because I'm trying to build my channel, mrmarketing.ie, Ngalinda is the name, mrmarketing.ie. Just check that out, and I appreciate people if you go like that page. It will mean so much to me. You will make my Christmas for the next 50 years. Just go like that page. Okay, so look, my story, right? So I started marketing business with 90 euro. Like I always say in the videos, it's not just me. There's about 7 of us. We all work really hard, okay? And yeah, so like the reason why I do what I do, because when we finished college, my friends were like, yo, like, why don't we go and get our high-end jobs and go to work for Google and start off with, you know, the 35K, 40, 50, etc., etc. But I've never really saw money that way. The reason is because I've always been working and doing whatever it takes to make money. When I came to Ireland, when I was like 6 years old, right? So I'm 27 years old right now, just turned 27 in December is my birthday, 31st, just turned 27. And like I've seen, like, okay, I've seen a lot. I've just been on Earth for like 27 years, you know. But I'm just gonna take this off because it's roasting in here, as you would say in Ireland. So yeah, like I witnessed my parents work really, really hard, and they worked extremely hard to make sure me and my sister we have a good life. So when I came to Ireland, it was like 1990 something, 1996, and there wasn't much foreigners in Ireland. And as a result of that, you know, kids as kids are, it's not like they're racist or anything, but they're curious. When you're a kid, you're curious and you don't know what's going on. So, you know, you tend to ask questions, or whatever you hear from grown-ups, you repeat it. And the school I went to, there was a lot of kids, you know, who lived in like working class areas, or maybe they lived in areas where their parents were taking drugs or of some sort, you know. So the kids would repeat whatever the parents are saying, right? So I remember growing up, I'm only 6 years old, and this kid, I remember this kid was like, he said something like the N-word to me, and I didn't even understand what that meant. And sometimes kids, you know, would be more racist and whatnot. Like, now, the reason why I'm telling the story is because of I believe it's things happen for us, not to us, right? So all of these struggles I went through as a kid made me to who I am today and why I want to work hard, you know? Like you can see right now, it's, I don't know what time is it now? It's 5:30 and I'm still in the office and I'm just banging out work, and I'm excited. I just can't wait to do more work, you know? So anyway, so while I was in college, like I was saying, the kids were like, some of the kids were a bit racist. I had a friend of mine who was also from a foreign country, but he couldn't take the racism. So like what happened was, like, let's say a kid picked on me, I would learn to reverse engineer that after a while, and instead of getting angry, I would pick on him. And as a result of that, though the kids who were picking on me, they found that funny, and then they forget that I'm any different to them, and which I wasn't, obviously, but they would see me as normal. So then they started asking me to be more funny, or like, you know, to be and give us a joke, whatever. And remember, we're only 8 years old, 10 years old. So what I used to do then is I just make them laugh, whatever. And then that's how I avoided bullying. So I stopped getting bullied. But my friend who didn't know what was going on, and maybe he didn't have the skill of adapting real quick, you know, but he would get more angry and more angry back. And what happened then is he'd get more bullied. So the kids who bullied me wanted to be friends with me, and they forget that I'm a different color, and they stop that. And then anytime somebody wanted to bully me, they start going, hey, leave him alone. That's Ngalinda. He's one of us. You know what I mean? And life became easier. So what I was saying there was it's important to understand and to adapt and to not take everything so critical, right? So that's what happened when I was a kid. So I remember even that time, 1990, there was literally no foreigners. Like, I remember on my street, when I saw another African person, I was like, hey man, are you lost? And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, because I'm the only person here who's foreign. It doesn't even matter African, even if it's Latvian or whatever, literally there was nobody who was foreign, right? So growing up with that kind of time, and you have to learn how to think quick and act quick. You know, I remember 8 years old, I'm walking across, going over to see one of my friends who lived in the flats, and these kids were crazy, you know, and they live with parents, and you can't blame them because they're only little kids and they're growing up with parents who are taking drugs and whatnot. So that kid lived across the road at the flats, and I remember going over to see one of my friends who lived at the flats. Of course, he's my friend, and he loves me for who I am. So I'm walking over. I'm like 8 years old, 9 years old. I'm walking over to the flats, and it's my first time. You know, when you're young and you're going somewhere far, even if it's just 5 minutes away from your house, it's a big deal. So I'm walking, I'm nervous as hell. I get by, I see a group of these lads, you know, and lads, for anyone who's overseas wondering what lads is just a term for guys, a group of guys, whatever, or girls. Anyway, so I saw a group of guys, and these guys, you know, they were staring at me, and I'm nervous. I'm only a kid, and maybe some of them are a bit older. And I tell you one thing, I learned those days, that's where I learned how to to run really, really fast. And again, that helped me so well learning. So what happened that day was I didn't understand, and I forgot again that I was colored or whatever. I forgot. You know, you're a kid, you don't think about racism. I'm walking. I see them look at me, and all of a sudden they ask me, like, what are you looking at? And I'm there nervous, like, I was just looking that way. I see one of them turn around to get something. They take stones and start throwing stones, and man, you know, so you're on your own. Obviously, I didn't make it to my friend's house that day, but I learned how to run fast. I learned how to take care of myself. So even from the age of 8 to 10 to 11 to 12, I learned how to survive, you know, and I realized, Jesus Christ, you've got to survive in this world. Like, so that again, things happen for you, not to you. Because if I chose to be like, oh, you know, this and that, like, I would end up like my friend who moved back to a different country. But what I did was, I remember my parents would be like, look, you got to stand your ground, do this, do that, you know, so they taught me well. And I remember as a result of that, whenever I played football, I was so fast. Like, any of my friends always tell me, like, I was so fast because I had to learn how to be fast, you know, when I was young, to run away from trouble if anyone was going to attack me. And, you know, so like even reflexes, it really helped with football, and I enjoy football, you know. So anyways, that's what happened when I was younger. So that gave me that drive, you know, and I remember, like, my mom used to work long hours, and she worked so long, right? And she'd leave the house from 7 a.m., get home around 9 a.m. or 7 a.m., get home around 8 p.m. And Jesus Christ, you know, like, I'd see her work so hard. So I was like, right, when I get older, the moment I'm able to work, I am going to work to do whatever it takes to make sure that she's comfortable and she never has to work again. Okay, that still hasn't happened yet, but it's happening slowly, right? So these are things that I just wanted to express, to get out there. Why, you know, things happen for you, not to you, so that you learn to adapt, change, overcome, and go again, you know. And so when I was in college, right, so look, African parents, man, they will make you do, like, when it comes to education, you have no choice. If you're younger than 18, especially my parents, you had to do what they wanted you to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't choose what you wanted to do. So they told me, you're doing computer science. And I was like, but I don't want to, and I knew if I didn't do computer science, they'd disown me. Now, here's the thing. When you're young and you know, you're being forced to do something, first of all, you have a bad negative mindset and you don't want to go in. So what happened was, I'm in computer science. These kids have already learned about computer science. They're you know, going into first year in college. They love playing games. They love computer science type of games. So they already want to learn coding. And there's me walking in computer science. It's like I'm doing Chinese. The teacher's talking about coding this, that. These guys can't wait to go in class. I can't wait to get the hell out of that class because I hated it. So after 3 years of struggling, I do so much hard work, like spend hours and days when I was in college just to try and get like 50% in my exams. And my friends, they'd be out in the pub drinking, doing whatever it takes on the weekends to have a great time. They come in on that Monday morning when the exam is over, when the exam's ready. These guys would ace it and leave early. I'm still in there, like, sweating, trying whatever I could, and nothing is coming out. I just come and get 40% or whatever, 45%. So like after 3 years, I had enough of it, and I said, you know what? It's a 4-year degree. I'm gonna take a break. So I took a year out in the 3rd year, and what happened was my dad was like, listen, if you don't get a job, I'm gonna send you back to Africa. So I thought he was joking, and he was like, I'm serious. So I was like, whoa, okay. So I knew I needed to get a job. So what I did was I was working part-time to pay for the time off before I get to next year of college. So I worked in JD Sports and, you know, just clothes shops and all that kind of thing. Retail is one of the hardest jobs to work in. My God, I have so much respect for people working retail. I mean, every time you're folding T-shirts, somebody comes over, a little kid, and starts wrecking it. You know, it's frustrating as hell. But anyway, again, things happen. Things happen for you, not to you. Okay, so like I was saying, right? So when I was working in retail, I learned a lot. I learned people skills. I learned sales skills, and all of this, all of my journey so far in my pre-childhood to childhood to where I am today has all shaped me to help me to where I am going with the business and what we're doing, and I've been able to create jobs just pure persistency, you know. Even when I hear no's in the early stages, and even now, even when we try to make deals and people say no, persistent. We're just going at it. My friends would give up so quick, or my colleagues here would give up so quick, and they can't understand how I can just keep on going. And I just always remember childhood, and when you had to run because of racism, when you're only 8 years old and somebody's throwing a stone at you, and you had to learn how to keep going and not stop. You know, so again, everything happens for you, not to you. So when I was in college, when I took the year out, what happened was I realized I need to get a job. Okay, so I got a job and I was working in JD Sports or whatever it was. And at the same time, I knew a bit of computer science, obviously, because I'm studying that. So I knew how to make websites. And when I was, I realized a lot of business owners, they needed websites. They needed, you know, they pretty much needed like websites and all marketing materials. But the problem was large companies charge thousands just for a website. And obviously, small business owners who have a small cash flow, they couldn't afford that. So I was like looking, wow, this guy's charging 10 grand for a simple website that I could probably do in my kitchen for just what, like even 200 or 300 euro. So I said, you know what? I put up an ad online, and I waited to get some jobs in. And surprise, surprise, after 1 week, I got zero. And I started to worry because I was like, wow, my dad's gonna send me back to Africa if I don't make any money. I gotta make this happen. So what I did was I went back on Gumtree, and I realized, and I saw some people posting to help business owners, and they said that, you know, they had a script already and that was working. So I said, you know what, let me just go over, let me copy that script and change some words around so then suit it to me, so that I can put in my own twist, but it'll have the format that I needed, that I know people are converting with. So I did that. After like a few hours, somebody contacted me, and then I told them I could do the website. So long story short, I started making websites for people while I was off college. And as a result of that, I went back to college, and I was so confident in what I was doing. That's why it's important to learn from people who are doing it. That's why the marketing courses I'm putting together, like for those who are looking to do digital marketing, SEO and whatnot, or if you work in a company and you need strategies, that you should definitely enroll in that. So that's something that I would have definitely should have done, and got into a course that was particularly about digital marketing, or particularly about web design, you know. But long story short, I became so good because I was practicing and doing and learning from courses online, from people who were giving courses on web design and whatnot. I went back to college, and my God, I was the guy who was getting only 40%. I was starting to get almost 80%, 90%, and I was so close to finishing from a 1.1 degree. It's right here. I keep it with me here every day to remind myself of the struggles I went through, you know. So anything's possible, I'm telling you now, right? So and actually I was doing a master's degree there, So yeah, so but I haven't finished that yet. So anyway, long story short, I keep saying long story short. I promise you this will be short, 15 minutes. Okay, I only have a few minutes left. Right. So long story short, again, when I finished, I went back to college. So after the year was over, I went back to college. And when I was in college, I was finishing off the last year, still doing websites for people, and also I was doing comedy because when I went to college, I didn't know anybody. I had nobody. I knew nobody. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start a YouTube channel because I wanted to show people. I'm from Tanzania, East Africa. Okay, so and we speak Swahili there. So a lot of my cousins always wanted to come to Europe or wanted to see, and they never got the opportunity. This is back in 2000 or whatever. Like, and people weren't even using YouTube. So what I said was, I'll film myself walking around in town because I saw that in America, people were going around with a camera, calling it a vlog, videoing themselves and doing what they're doing and showing people. So it's just vlog stands for video blog, right? So I was like, wow, you know what? My cousins want to see this. They would love to see what Europe is like and the pubs and whatnot. So I started walking around when I was in college and I filmed what I'm doing with my friends. And if some of the videos are still up there, it's under Irish Afternoon. So I filmed them while I was with my friends and I'll show them around, like, this is what it's like. This is me going to college. This is my friend Seamus and whatever. And what happened was, this was supposed to be for just my cousins, but people started sharing the videos and I didn't even know about it. So I'd be walking in town and somebody will come up to me and be like, Ngalinda, or, Aisha, and I'll be like, okay, hey, what's up? Who are you? I didn't realize that the videos were getting popular. So anyway, what I was trying to do there was, I had a goal of just getting, even if I can get 1,000 views in total for my videos, I'll be delighted. And after a week, after a few months of doing the videos, I only get like five views in total for each video. And that would be from my mom, my sister, my dad, or one of my cousins. After like 6 months for persistence. Okay, so listen, my whole point of this video is why things happen for you, not to you. And that persistence gets you going, with that commitment you get there, with persistency, you will make it. So long story short, for the fourth time I've said this, yeah, so after like 6 months, my video views started going up, and then I had like I think we got 7-8 million views or 6 million views, something like that in total. But was stemmed out of me just wanting to video around and showing my cousins and doing it consistently, even when I was trying to do some sketches with my sister, because people started telling us that we're funny. So they were like, why don't you guys do some sketches? And we started doing sketches. I kept on going, even on the sick days when she was bored and tired. I just kept on going. You know why? Because I had that set goal. And I always remember childhood when I said, look, I'm going to find a way to make something happen so that I will never have to experience what I experienced as a child. And hopefully maybe someone who is, a kid who's going through what I went through won't go through that, because people will see my videos and they'll be like, hey, we love him, and then they see him, so they see me through him, so then they don't bully him. So like, that's why I kept on doing the videos. And yeah, so we end up getting like 8 million views and TV shows, and like, not TV shows, like they would call us in to do some sketches in TV shows, not our own TV show. But yeah, so that worked out well. And the end goal of the videos that I used to do, I remember one kid came up to me in school and was like, Ngalinda, like, I used to get so much bullying because I'm from, I think it was Latvia or something, and your videos, they're so funny, like the way you do about foreigners and this and that, and everybody loves them in my class, and they all like tell me, they ask me to tell them jokes, meaning like they were asking him to tell the jokes that I was telling, and because of me, basically, he stopped getting bullied. That's what he was saying, and oh my God, it felt so good because I reached that goal. So I learned how to be funny, and then I started doing comedy shows, and then I was doing kids shows on the weekends. So all of that, doing comedy, kids shows, and all of that I've used so far in my business to make, like, even when I'm talking to prospects, I throw in some jokes, and it becomes from it goes from just from them talking to somebody who they don't know, who they're probably not going to sign up with, to them laughing and then invite me to come over. And even I have dinners with clients and we go out, that. So like, everything happens for you, not to you. Okay, so now where we are, we're at the third stage of the business, and we're doing courses as well. So like I'm saying, if you know somebody who's in business, or you know a startup or an entrepreneur who wants to learn digital marketing, SEO, web design, and whatnot. So we're going to put out courses. Just make sure, guys, you follow my Facebook. It's called Mr. Marketing. It's Ngalinda, Mr. Marketing. I really, really appreciate that, right? So I'm going to close this, but I just need, my time is up. I just wanted to make sure I make a clearer video why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate, right? So listen, like I said, if you like my Facebook, Mr. Marketing, it's Ngalinda, Mr. Marketing. I'm going to put a link right here. If you like that, you will make my entire Christmas till 2050, till I die. Even after I die, you'll still make all my Christmas. So make sure you follow my Christmas up. Make sure you follow my channel there. I'm going to link it up. Appreciate you watching it. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.